Very good morning or good evening, whichever time. Okay, Kamesh is also having it. Very good morning, good evening, depending on whichever time you are going to watch this, either live or recording. I'm very happy that I'm having a family member today along with me in the WSC community. Ramesh Mantha is my younger brother actually. So he's currently in the US. I'll let him introduce himself.
So Ramesh Mantha. US లో నేను క్యాప్జెమిని అనే కంపెనీ ద్వారా పనిచేస్తూ Vanguard అనే క్లయింట్ కి సర్వీసెస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది.
You're an account manager now?
In the account. So client engagement manager is what is the portfolio. It is actual role I think. అంటే various verticals within Vanguard, main vertical called retail or personal investor technology. So we try to do at any point in time of a engagement.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you're in the IT journey now for how many years, Ramesh?
It is 20
plus years.
Plus years.
I think
I'll be finishing 20 with Capgemini itself next year.
I think you started somewhere in 99, 2000. 2000. Okay, 2000 is when you started. Okay, so what made you come into IT, Ramesh?
Initially, I started out with manufacturing has been my forte. I did my production engineering. Then MBA the focus has been primarily on operations, although I did marketing actually. But down the MBA roads at that time were leading to
IT.
So I just got into the bandwagon that way and started with a two-way side of it where it was a little bit less of a, some people see it as less of an entry barrier, but I see it as more of a value add where you can provide
you can focus on end customer.
And you can put an end-to-end perspective. I continue doing that also. Well,
he's more of a quality as well as domain person. Yeah. Anyway, so the conversation is about WSC, with skill chill, blues for work and transition blues. I know Ramesh's family, like we have spent more time during our childhood, in the sense, first, up to some, like any other company. But after that, of course, everybody's path become independent. I mean, more or less a little bit independent. Although sometimes this process happens. By the way, will skill chill, blues for work and transition blues 3 years ago, you also happened to, I forced you to probably read that book.
So, first of all, I was so happy that someone in our family getting into, following the passion and coming up with a material that is for common good for a larger public, right? So the way you put it, transformation is something everyone goes through, either knowingly or unknowingly, and how you conceptualize it with easy to remember acronyms has been a real eye-opener, when you take that.
Because So because when I published that book, it was like a end of 1 year journey, and at that time I had a deadline, but then still I managed to surprise him that I finished the book. By the way, hey, somebody else joined. Kamesh, welcome, Kamesh.
Hi, Jagan. Yeah.
Hi. You can say hello to Ramesh.
Hey, Ramesh.
You know him? Yeah. Okay. Kamesh, you can. I mean, up to you whether you want to come on the camera or not. That's fine. So, anything that you interested, Kamesh, to join? You join this call today?
I just want to listen.
Great. Okay. Fantastic. So, so which one do you think? What are one or two things that you still probably? I know it's a long time, for 3 years ago, but anything that you particularly called, kind of found interesting about it?
I think understanding or enhancing someone's skill set, and also correlating that when you're doing that you are in a mental state of peace, maybe, and that's what we call it as chill, right? But you focus on specific grinding of the words, right? So that things are important, right? Or
they're
able to relatable, or top of mind recall helps, right? But what I like best there, or quickly. Maybe I'd like to go back to it. It's been a while, and I've been pulled certainly into this. But I remember proofreading the book for you once, and then trying to say maybe some comments as well. But overall, I think it's a book everyone should periodically read. That's what was my recollection at that point in time. And I will make it now that I've been put into it. I would like to refresh mine again.
See, I'm not saying it's a Bible or anything like that. So it's up to see life, regardless of how we treat it or how we choose to take it, it will have its own ways in which surprising us sometimes, or sometimes we may think that, oh, life, I'm doing so great. Sometimes we may feel that we are doing great, but sometimes life may have other ways to surprise us. Regardless of whatever happens in life, do we have wherewithal to navigate through life? Because I personally think that it doesn't happen so easily. There are lots and lots of turbulence that happens in life, and people should be generally better equipped. Because this is not something that comes as a way of technical education. So the reason for me spending so much of time or effort is because when life surprises us, we are not necessarily ready. See, because we come through academics where syllabus is already given, and you become very good at it, and then you ace the test and you get 80%, 90%. But life doesn't work that way. It doesn't come to us with a prescribed syllabus. Okay, so whether we like it or not. So at least because I have been surprised in my life, I don't want to get into the details because in the book there are enough instances talked about. So people should become generally better. Better in the sense, better prepared to life as it can surprise them along with it. Yeah.
So, what is the one or two things that people keep continually doing to face life? I mean, as you said, it will surprise.
So in general, one thing that we need to do is increase our capability. See, the last week's conversation is completely about that. We already did that challenge versus ability matrix.
Oh,
that has entirely covered. If somebody is interested, so one can. Anil, you were there in that call, right? We talked at length about ability versus challenge and the mental states, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So anything that you want to, anything that is particularly that you recall from that, which you want to probably important, that you find as important?
Challenges and abilities, sir. In the graph, మీరు చెప్పింది ఏంటంటే మన మెంటల్ స్టేట్ ఎలా డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది, ఛాలెంజెస్ ని మన ఎబిలిటీస్ తో ఫేస్ చేయడం బట్టి ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పారు సార్.
సో మనకి ఛాలెంజ్ అనేది మన చేతిలో లేనప్పుడు మనం ఎబిలిటీ మీద వర్క్ చేసుకోవాలి, అంతే కదా.
ఎస్ సార్.
సో ఛాలెంజ్ అనేది సమ్టైమ్స్ ఛాలెంజ్ అనేది మనకి స్కోప్, మనకి ఇప్పుడే మాట్లాడుకున్నాం కదా, మనకి సిలబస్ ఇది ఉందని చెప్తే మనం ప్రిపేర్ అవుతాం, దానికి ఎగ్జామ్ వస్తాం. కానీ లైఫ్ లో అనేది సిలబస్ ఫిక్స్ అవ్వట్లేదు కదా, ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ అండ్ త్రో సమ్ న్యూ ఛాలెంజ్. సో ఆ టైంలో మనం అంటే we will get anyway surprise, but then if you keep working on our ability, then our own ability to, and our own mental state to cope with challenges will be better. That's obviously utopian, but that's the whole idea. You're with me on that, right, Anil?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Challenge మనం పెంచుకోవాలి. ఛాలెంజ్ మనం పెంచుకుంటే మనకి ఎబిలిటీ మనం పెంచుకోవాలి. ఎబిలిటీ పెంచుకుంటే
గోల్ బట్టి ఉంటది కదా సార్.
చెప్పండి.
గోల్ బట్టి ఉంటది కదా సార్, ఏ గోల్ మనం సెట్ చేసుకున్నాం దాన్ని బట్టే ఛాలెంజెస్ ఎదురవుతూ ఉంటాయి.
జనరిక్ ఎబిలిటీస్ ఉంటాయి కదా. ఇప్పుడు మనం హెల్త్ మీద వర్క్ చేసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి, హెల్త్ మీద వర్క్ చేయడం అంటే ఏంటి, మన ఫిజికల్ అండ్ మెంటల్ హెల్త్ మీద వర్క్ చేసుకోవాలి. అంటే లేదు నేను ఈ జాబ్ చేస్తాను, ఆ జాబ్ చేస్తాను, రిగార్డ్లెస్ ఆఫ్ ద జాబ్ సమ్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ కామన్. మనకి కొన్ని కామన్ గా వర్క్ చేసుకోవాలి, కొన్ని మనము గోల్ బట్టి మనం వర్క్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
టెక్నికల్ గా మై కాంపిటెన్సీ ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసుకోవాలి. డెవలపర్, ప్రాజెక్ట్ మేనేజర్, వాటికి ఏం చేయాలి, ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ కి వెళ్ళడానికి, అది is that the purview of
first and foremost, will, skill, chill అని 3 separate dimensional competencies. కానీ they have correlation between them. Will అంటే first and foremost willingness to do this. అంటే ఇప్పుడు one fundamental willingness is how consistent I am about it. See, for example, దీన్ని నేను consistent గానే ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను అంటే from my side. But somebody who wants that, okay, this is for my this is for me, then they should consistently at least consider this as a person to attend it, because this I'm not I'm making it the most valuable thing that you need to bring is your own time and your own commitment. Okay, other than that, there is absolutely and of course there are people who join the group. I'm not making this this group is not for somebody to just drop in from a public place, because then you may not be able to filter it. Somebody may come in with some other idea of disrupting it. So at least WhatsApp group lo join ite that is when the link is there, people can come in. Okay, that's how it is. There are people
you do it
every week pretty much in the same time, and I started with only some 8 to 10 weeks. There are a couple of other people who are regulars actually. ఇంకా రెగ్యులర్స్ ఉన్నారు కానీ వాళ్ళు ఇవాళ రాలేదున్నారు, బట్ దే యాక్చువల్లీ గో అండ్ అంటే catch up on the video for whatever extent they want, because they already understand what is the nuance. So this is actually an ongoing thing. So will, skill, chill అన్నది ఎందుకంటే I'm insisting is will అన్నది is like a your willingness to elevate yourself, but skill is where it may vary. What Ramesh is interested could be very different from what Ramesh will be interested in, or what Anil will be interested in. Skill could be varied. But for that, see, if willingness is there, people will go and work on skill. But then there is a third element called chill as well. Chill is all the baggage that we are still carrying and not let go of. Lack of chill, that is. Instead of, see, there is a lot of things that we have accumulated as a baggage, whether we like it or not. That's the reason why I keep relating this as, life is about trying to get 1% better, but then somehow some bitterness also would have cracked them because of whatever challenges you would have faced in life.
Typically, people associate chill as chill over the weekend, right, or something like that. Oh, weekday hectic activity. Then, so how do you? If it's certainly not used in that conversation.
See, chill, and okay, I can understand. See, but at the same time, I say chilling is good. If it makes you feel prepared to face the chill. Are you using chill to come and face your situation or to run away from it?
But the way you say that, going back to previous session, what you had of the capability versus
ability versus challenge,
and saying that will, skill, and chill, all of it also can be seen in that ability paradigm. That is a new perspective I am actually.
Right. Even chill is a different dimension. See, it's like X, Y, Z. X and Y. See, for a long time I thought that it's only will and skill, because chill came out of and then I have rated will to doing, skill to having, and chill to being. Actually, many times being domain I have see, because it's about do, have, be, right? Do, have, be. Okay. So people want to have what, when people say I want to have what? Confidence. Okay. Confidence is something that you think that I have. Just like I have a bank balance. like that I have confidence. But in order to have, I need to do. But in order to do, I need to be. So have, do, be cycle. See, the change cycle is very, very much detailed in this. So if you so the fundamental change model only. I have not invented anything new. Okay, it's fundamental change model. Will, skill, chill is a fundamental change model only. But how does a change happen? Okay, change happens based on how I see. How I see myself, how I see situations. That's the see. Actually, see, do, get. See, do, get, and chill. Either do, have, be, and chill. So see, do, get, and do, have. And you understood. So I have only related with that change model only to will, skill, chill. So I have not worked with something different. See, one of the reasons why I am able to articulate it this way is the very fact that I have got a total L&D experience. So I'm coming to this particular platform with some amount of with some basis. Okay, so these three things are actually, whether you like it or not, you're already in this cycle. But at what level of the cycle you are there is what you need to see. So once again I try to define will is the capacity that you are able to muster to take an action. Okay, so today I did not care about your comfort. I pulled you into this conversation. Okay, that was my willingness to pull you into the conversation. May not be the most comfortable thing. Okay, either for you or for me also. But if this conversation should reach somebody else, because if I'm talking to myself and blabbering all this, somebody will think that this is a nutcase. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I know what I'm talking about, but I'm keen that it should reach to others as well. So willingness is my capacity or my willingness to take action. Okay, whereas skill is about the capability, the whole capability aspect. So some people are inherently more capable than me in speaking. Okay, that's their that's their own whatever it is. So skill is capability, will is capacity, whereas chill is being able to kind of moderate yourself in the face of situations that you have, so that you have a neutrality. You are always you are always grounded, and that is the most hardest thing. That's the most hardest thing. So many a times I call chill as, instead of resenting life, it is the recentering about life. I mean, that it may sound like a very big deal, but see, generally, are we resenting about life, or are we resented about life? That's what actually chill is. So that's why chill is cool quotient, cool demeanor that you can bring in the face of whatever situation you are facing. That's what I mean by chill. That's the whole definition, and there's a big section about chill. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for posing me the question, but because you probably see, I may not have been able to articulate it this way also. Maybe I tried to articulate it in a different way. In the book, I tried. But this is like after 3 years, I'm rethinking about it. And the reason why I'm doing these 1-minute videos are also on either will or in a skill or in a chill. See, because I have made already 3 chapters free for people to go and read. See, if somebody thinks that no, I'm already perfect. So that's the reason I did one session saying that this is not about VIPs. If you are already a VIP, maaf karo bas, I am a WIP. I'm in work in progress. I don't have any problem in admitting to myself that I'm a work in progress. If you're already, super guy, know everything in life, maaf karo beta, you're not, I'm not serving. I'm not going to serve you, or I cannot serve you.
Well said, actually. Trying to define your population of Africa, to have the attitude to learn, understand what is there in there.
Correct, absolutely.
First, figure it out before I'm judgment. Maybe it's not for me. I'm already in the zone.
If somebody is already in the zone, that's fine. So because I touch the zone, but I follow the zone. Again, touch the zone, I follow the zone. I am always constantly working on this myself. So just to, I have clarified in the book also that because I wrote about Will's culture doesn't mean that I don't need them. In fact, I need them all the time. That's the reason I wrote the book. Anyway, that was. So anybody has any questions? I think either Anil or Kamesh. No questions, huh? Actually, one of the persons says, in the facilitator community, somebody says no questions and no questions. All clear. Either you made 0 sense or you made perfect sense. So either of them is unlikely actually. So feel free to pose a question. Both of you, Anil or Kamesh, because we still have at least 10 more minutes. మాట్లాడండి.
రమేష్ గారికి ఏదైనా ప్రాక్టికల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్సిషన్ పీరియడ్ ఓవర్కమ్ చేసింది ఉందా?
So, okay, forget, see, whatever I wrote about WSC Chill, has it helped you in any way, in any transition? I forget about B, but has the trigger helped you? Any transition experience you want to share?
So we always tell that we are helping our clients transition from leadership or transformation. So we always say from the client side, we don't care much about whether I am being transitioned. And Anil, to your point, as I was saying, QA centric Minchi, now I'm a domain focused person, and trying to say that I'm helping clients transform, and I'm working with the team to see the big picture. But to your point, understand that working closely with people and appreciate what they are doing, client goals ఏంటి, and మనం చేస్తున్న పని how is it being added. మన ఉద్దేశంతోనే నేను అట్లీస్ట్ 3 weeks మా DC facility పూణేలో స్పెండ్ చేయడం. And in that process, I myself am ready to learn so much from them. I'm looking forward to. Actually, watching the middle of the week last week. The next 2 weeks is a transition journey for myself. ఇప్పుడు అవుతున్నట్టు ఈ ఆఫ్షోర్ ఆన్ సైట్ లో ఓకే మనం అంతా చెప్పేస్తున్నాం, మనం వాళ్ళు అలాంటి తేడాలు వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. అవన్నీ పక్కన పెట్టి క్లయింట్ బిగ్ పిక్చర్ షో చేసి వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నది ఆల్రెడీ ఎంత మంచిగా కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ అవుతుంది అని చెప్పడానికి ఎలా, అండ్ అందులో నేను ఎంత నా సబ్మిషన్ అవుతుంది ఇంకాను ఐఎమ్ లుకింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ టు నెక్స్ట్. సో నౌ డెఫినెట్ టు ఆన్సర్ అది, but just telling where I am.
Okay, one thing from what I can understand, and to paraphrase what you said, transition and ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతూనే ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే ట్రాన్సిషన్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఒక స్టేట్ నుంచి ఇంకో స్టేట్ మూవ్ అవడం కదా. ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ఒక స్టేట్ నుంచి ఇంకో స్టేట్ మూవ్ అవుతూనే ఉంటారు. ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళు క్లయింట్ ఫేసింగ్ టీమ్ లో ఉన్నారు, అంటే ఆన్ సైట్ లో ఉన్నారు, కానీ వాళ్ళు మొత్తం ఆఫ్ షోర్ టీమ్స్ అయితే చేయించాలి. ఆఫ్ షోర్ టీమ్ ని ఫుల్ గా సింకప్ చేసి వాళ్ళ క్లయింట్, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ క్లయింట్ ఆల్రెడీ పెద్ద పెద్ద ప్రామిస్ చేసేస్తున్నారు. ఈ సైడ్ క్లయింట్ కి మేము ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ కాదు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ చేస్తామని చెప్పి వాళ్ళు ఆల్రెడీ సెల్ చేశారు. అది చేయించి కూర్చి ఎవరిది ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళదే. మీరు అడుగుతున్నారు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ కావాలండి, ఇండివిజువల్ లెవెల్ కాదు, మొత్తం టీమ్ లెవెల్ కావాలి.
వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు, చాలా మంచిగా చేస్తున్నారు ఆల్రెడీ. అది దగ్గరకు వచ్చి రికగ్నైజ్ చేసి సమ్ టైమ్స్ వాళ్ళు చూసింది పే చేస్తారు. అంటే పెద్ద పెద్ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో 10 మంది టీమ్స్ తో ప్రోడక్ట్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ అని దీన్ని అది చాలా ఉంటుంది. వీళ్ళు వచ్చేసరికి ఒక చిన్న స్టోరీ చేస్తారు, కానీ ఆ చిన్న స్టోరీలే కలిసి అవుట్కమ్స్ కి సర్వ్ అవుతాయి అని చూపించాలి. ఆ ఉద్దేశంతో
అంటే బేసిక్ గా ఎవరు చేస్తుందైనా ఉడతా భక్తి సేవ అంటే ఉడతా భక్తి సేవ కానీ అది చాలా పెద్దదానికి హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది చూపించాల్సిన అవసరం మేనేజ్మెంట్ టీమ్ కి, లీడర్షిప్ టీమ్ కే ఉంది. లీడర్షిప్ కేవలం ఇమీడియట్ గా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ అయితే సరిపోదు, టీమ్ చేత కంటిన్యూస్ గా చేయించాలి. కాబట్టి ఇది చాలా అంటే బేసిక్ గా స్కిల్స్ అనే విషయం గురించి ఆయన తెలిసినా కూడా అది ఎంత మేరకు తను యూజ్ చేసుకోగలరు అనే విషయం అది దట్ ఇస్ ఫర్ హిమ్ టు డిసైడ్. బట్ ఎనీవే లెట్స్ వి ఆర్ హావింగ్ సమ్ కన్వర్జేషన్ కదా. విల్ స్కిల్స్ అన్న 3 పాయింట్స్ నేను ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాను కదా. యూ థింక్ దట్ కన్వర్జేషన్ because ultimately it's the chill you need to keep working on it all the time. Why do you think? See, I personally think I only wrote will and skill, and will and skill అనేది నేను ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అన్న చిల్ అని చాలా కాన్సెప్ట్. లాస్ట్ 3 years లో చిల్ ఐ have been able to attract, law of attraction అంటారు కదా, the entire Sri Ravishankar and all that, I have every day experiencing chill, and every day experiencing chill at a different level. So skill అనేది నేను కాన్సెప్చువల్ గా ఎంతో రాయడానికి ట్రై చేసిన 3 years బ్యాక్. చిల్ మీద నా అవగాహన ఇంకా పెరుగుతూ వచ్చింది. దాన్ని చెప్పగలిగితే దాన్ని ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చేయగలిగి మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఇట్స్ యూ ఓన్లీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, హౌ కెన్ యు ఈవెన్ టెల్? Many times the problem is tell nothingness, explain nothingness to somebody. People say meditation చెప్పు, ఏం చెప్పలేదు. నేను ఇంకా మెడిటేషన్ గురించి అంత ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. నేను మెడిటేషన్ గురించి ఏం చెప్తానంటే జనాలకు అయితే హెసిటేషన్ ఉంది ఈ రెండే ఉంటున్నాయి. మెడిటేషన్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది అని అడుగుతుంటాను. బికాస్ ఐ హ్యావ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ మై స్కిల్. I often have this ability to make some provocative statements. నవ్వుతూనే చోటి మూత్ బడి బాత్. But sometimes it may be required. It takes sometimes a small child to call that emperor is naked. So I'm only posing the question that it's an ongoing journey. Are we doing whatever it requires? And for people to relate, I'm sure Ramesh relates it at some level. Anil also relates it. He is in his own transition journey. I have some personal view about it. But I totally respect the fact that, rather than he being at himself, he's actually trying to see whether he can get benefit from this kind of discussions. Because show me somebody who is not in some sort of journey, or some sort of struggle. And that's what his life is. Exactly. So anyway, Mali Mandala అయిపోయింది. Anil, anything you want to say to respond on that?
ఎస్ సార్, అది సార్. అంటే నాకు అర్థమైంది ఏంటంటే ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ కి ఒక టీమ్ ఎఫర్ట్ అనేది ఉండాలి అని నాకు అర్థమైంది సార్.
అంటే ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ అనేది టీమ్ ఎఫర్ట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు కస్టమర్ సినారియోలో మనం న్యాచురల్ గా ఒక పెద్ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మరి ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో టీమ్ మెంబర్స్ ఉంటే అది టీమ్ ఎఫర్ట్ చేయాలి కదా. కానీ ముందు టీం గురించి చేయాలంటే ముందు మనలో కూడా ఉండాలి కదా.
అవును, వాళ్ళతో అసోసియేట్ మూవ్ అవ్వగలగాలంటే మనం కూడా క్యాచ్ చేయగలగాలి సార్ వాళ్ళని.
కరెక్ట్, అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. హీ వాస్ టెల్లింగ్ ఆయన కస్టమర్ ఫేసింగ్ లో ఉన్నాడు, కానీ 3 weeks ఇండియాలో ఉన్నాడు కాబట్టి మొత్తం ఆ టీం అందరితో కూడా ఇండివిజువల్ కనెక్ట్ అవ్వడానికి లేదా వాళ్ళు ఏ స్టేట్ లో ఉన్నారు అనేది గ్రాఫ్ చేయడానికి వచ్చారు కదా.
Ramesh sir, are you still in Capgemini?
Sorry?
Are you still in Capgemini?
Yeah, I'm still in Capgemini.
Actually, he joined a company called Canbake, which was acquired by Capgemini. So he's the original, prior to Capgemini also, like 20 years ago.
Next year I'll finish 20.
In Capgemini, because earlier you were in Polaris. So one thing about my brother is that he's an MBA in finance and marketing, right? Marketing finance రెండిట్లో చేశాడు తన MBA, XLR.
Some finance.
Okay, fine. కానీ ఇప్పుడైతే మాత్రం కంప్లీట్ ఫైనాన్స్ జర్నీ. ఎందుకంటే when you were in Polaris, it was a banking thing.
And this one also, like knowledge, now.
Nice. So one thing about my IT journey is that it was largely non-BFSI actually. Except for the order to cash flow last 2 years, high readers was order to cash. That's the only finance. This thing, if touchwood, if something works out, maybe I may get into another order to cash kind of company, because it's much smaller company. But let's see. That's fingers crossed. But even when something else happens, I'm intending to continue this kind of a discussion with more people joining in. See, నిన్న మొన్ననే ఒక ఆయన జాయిన్ అయ్యారు. ఆయన గ్రూప్ లో కూడా చెప్పారు 5 years బ్యాక్ ల్యాండ్ బ్యాంక్ లో మనం చూస్తానని చెప్పి. సో హీ రిలేట్స్ మీ ఫ్రమ్ దట్. అట్లీస్ట్ అంటే I'm not trying to tell something. I'm not trying to tell. He knows. So he Corella follow అవుతానండి, and he's a professor in a management college. Okay, so he relates to the fact, అంటే ఇప్పుడు whether we like it or not, people who are like, they are relating to this, that this is an ongoing thing that is required. But then my whole point is that right now we are probably not working on the specific skills part of it. Specific skills will vary by situation, but willingness is something which is transferable. But I have a willingness for X, I can transfer that willingness to Y also, right? Because that's something more generic. Even chillingness is also transferable. Whereas skill is something which is more specific.
You can't just like that.
As simple as that. So basically, ఇప్పుడు skill, అందుకోసం skill గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు, see, in our group also there is somebody who is like that person, Kiran and and he does artistic therapy. So very specific skill that he need to work. But at the same time, 10 weeks, 14 weeks వర్క్ చేస్తే కానీ ఒక అవుట్పుట్ కనబడుతుంది. దానికి ఏం కావాలి? విల్లింగ్నెస్ కావాలి. సో బేసికలీ అంటే one of the very things that I did started doing with that is a noble profession. And only the parents sometimes recognize that, others don't even have an idea. People generally think that, thank God we don't get out of this kind of a. But whoever faces that situation and whoever is actually in the service providing, they know what it takes. So right now, walk of life is not. I'm not restricting anybody because more diverse it is better.
It is better. In fact, people can correlate from others' experience and then take something for them.
That's also good. So many times, because that's the whole thing. మనకి చాలా సార్లు ఏం చెప్తారంటే ఎక్కువగా ల్యాప్టాప్ మీద పనిచేస్తుంటే ప్రతి 2 నిమిషాలకి ఒక దూరం ఆబ్జెక్ట్ చూడండి అంటారు. ఎందుకంటే అలాగా
వ్యూ పాయింట్ చేంజ్
అలా ఉంటుంది. మన ఐ మసిల్స్ కూడా దూరం చూసే మసిల్స్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ అయితే మళ్ళీ బట్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ సక్సెస్. సేమ్ థింగ్ వర్క్స్ విత్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఆల్సో. మనం మన ప్రాబ్లం గురించి ఆలోచిస్తూ మన ప్రాబ్లం లోనే నిమగ్నం అయిపోతే మనకి కొత్త యాంగిల్ కనబడదు. మనం ఇంకొకళ్ళ ప్రాబ్లం విని లేదా ఇంకొకళ్ళ సిచ్యుయేషన్ అంటే వినడం అంటే జడ్జ్ చేయకుండా empathize. So judging is very easy. That guy is having problem. He's not terrible. No, that is not what it is. So if you have an empathizing viewpoint and you relate with multiple problem situations, generally that can increase your own transferability about attending to your own problems. So I'm just relating with this, so every 20 minutes, at least try to say a different object. అది చెప్తారు. ఎందుకంటే ఇవాళ చాలా మందికి I thought all the time they're working with devices. They're straining their eyes. So 20 minutes చెప్తే కనీసం maybe 1 hour ఒకసారి చేస్తారు. So I was only trying to give an example. I know we may get bumped up at another 2-3 minutes. Anybody has got any last questions? First and foremost, I want to thank dear brother, give him a beer hug for doing this with me. I never did plan for this until you actually ఇవాళ నాకు అనిపించింది ఓకే చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది కదా. So that's actually in a way trying to be in flow. Yeah. So anybody for any closing questions or thoughts?
Nice meeting you again, Ramesh, virtually though. With knowing you and meeting you.
Oh, great to introduce your brother, sir.
Yeah. I think we still have 5 minutes actually right now. I saw that it's only 3 minutes. But that's okay. We don't have to go all the time as long as we have, we think. Thank you, Anil. అంటే అతను ఉన్నాడు కాబట్టి అవైలబుల్ గా ఉన్నాడు కాబట్టి యాక్చువల్లీ ఇందాక 2 minutes వీడియో కూడా షూట్ చేస్తాము. అది మనం రోజు చేసే వీడియోలో కూడా అతన్ని ఆ వీడియో కూడా మీకు చూపిస్తాను. ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ మాట మాట్లాడతాను దాంట్లో. అది చేస్తాను ఆల్రెడీ.
Okay, sir.
All right. So anything else? If nothing else, have a great Sunday and have a great week ahead. Next Sunday, 10 a.m. again. Will Skill Chill Community. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.